Hi DSA, this is part 2 of doing a string change and understanding your black pegs. So this part is more towards the pegs and how to use them. And this is about how to really control your string so that you can get your instrument really well in tune. And it's something you can use on a daily basis. But it's very much related to the string change video, which was part 1 of the assignment. So if you're ready for part 2, this is it. So before we mess with the strings a bunch, let's just hold your instrument up and look at your bridge. Let's just make sure your bridge isn't in trouble before we start. So what we want is a right angle or a 90-degree angle between the back of our bridge and the body of your instrument. So this angle here, we want the bridge to be vertical and the body to be horizontal. So you can just take a quick, hold it out at arm's length and take a quick look at it and see if your bridge is leaning way backwards or way forwards or has some crazy warp in it or something. And if that's the case, maybe we don't want to do this lesson just yet. The bridge, we may want to address that. So if you have some of those issues, send in a picture to Dr. L or myself, and we'll can maybe guide you through what steps to take. But if your bridge is looking in good shape, then we're ready to move on with talking about these pegs. So what we want to do is get our pegs in a vertical orientation. So what I mean by that is if the instrument is out horizontal and the flat side of the pegs are vertical. So what this will allow you to do is get a really, really secure grip on the pegs. With the way your arm will naturally go up there, you can put your index finger or your middle finger on one side of the peg and your thumb on the other, and really grab those flat sides of the thing. The top sides are very sharp. They're very hard to hold on to. You're not going to have good control of the peg that way. It's not a good plan. They're not designed that way. It's designed for you to be able to grab those flat edges. So we want all of our pegs to be oriented vertically. All right, you with me on that? So this is the assignment, to get your pegs oriented vertically. You can just start with one and try it out, because likely you have at least one peg that is either horizontal or at some weird angle that is not very helpful. Now, let me demonstrate here what that would look like. So there's a horizontal peg, and it's going to be very difficult to grab that and really have control of it because you're on the sharp, skinny edge of it. I don't have room for my hand to come this way. My wrist doesn't bend that way. My arms aren't long enough to get really good control of it out that way. That's just not going to work. So, yeah, that's really awkward. And we've all experienced that. It's not fun, and you have to deal with that on a daily basis when you tune your instrument. So let's go ahead and fix it. Let's get all our pegs oriented vertically. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We basically, just like the last lesson, hold your instrument facing you with your knees so your hands are free to work. And now we can start adjusting. So what we're going to do is unwind the string, like we did in the last video. We're going to unwind it, and we're going to change how much of the string is going to be poked through the hole. We're just going to alter that a little bit. Well, maybe we'll poke a little bit more through, a little bit less if you have a tail. And we're going to wind it up, and the angle of the peg is going to come out different. And there's really no way to predict. We just have to try it. You have to try a couple of times. So we're going to do that. And you know how this all works because you've seen the peg before. So unwind it. You take the peg out. You can look at where the kink of the string is. And we're going to poke it through a little more or a little less and try to find the place that after we wind it all up, the peg will be oriented vertically. Okay, so you have to now do that inside the peg box. Poke it in, feed it through a little bit, and start winding. And remember, we want to stack our windings from the hole towards the wall. Okay, so this one did not come out so good. So it's not vertical. That's not going to be very helpful. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to poke a little bit more of the string through the hole. And now each time you do this, you put a little kink in the string, so it's not going to want to cooperate. So you have to be a little bit delicate when you start winding. But once you start, that new kink, that new bend in the metal in the string will form. And there, I got it. That's perfect. That's perfect. I got it on the second try. Now, sometimes it happens on the first try. Sometimes it happens on the fourth try. Okay, so now that you've attained vertical, you can grab it very strongly. And with one single grip, you can control the string downwards and upwards and apply inward pressure at the same time. Always have a finger on the opposite side of the peg box, at least one, maybe two fingers, so that you can squeeze together like a sandwich. You can squeeze the peg in. Remember, we want to have inward pressure to create that friction because they're friction pegs. They work with friction. And so now you can have a solid grip to be able to control down and back up with the same grip. So that's very important. Okay, that's the end of the lesson. Good luck.